Today we're using a two-part epoxy on a project to take back to our boat. I hope you enjoy.
I'm mixing two-part epoxy. This is a brand called Raka, or some people will call it Raka. It's R-A-K-A Industries. This is their UV inhibited epoxy. It means it's good for using outside in the sunlight and so forth. You can use it on trim. Epoxies get brittle in the sun really bad, and this one has an inhibitor in it to help prevent that brittleness from occurring. This epoxy is very, very thin by epoxy standards, and it comes with two different types of hardeners. You can select slow or fast. I chose slow. It's really hot here today. Temperature says it's 88, but they're saying it feels like temperature of 99 today. And the stuff is setting very, very fast. In a couple hours, the epoxy was secure enough to touch and flip the boards over. So I'm doing both sides of plywood right now to be used in other construction. I'm sealing the plywood edges, faces. Edges will be sealed twice, faces will be sealed at least once, to go back and re-sand and prime and paint later for interior panels that are going to be painted surfaces. This is a hardwood plywood. People ask me why I didn't choose to use fir or pine grade marine plywood instead of use a hard maple. I'm using the maple because it's a higher density wood. Pores are tighter, so when it does take on this epoxy, it will become basically hard as a rock. It will become very impervious to water, hopefully, and give me a long, long life without rot. That's basically why we're doing this. You have to stir this product. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts of the part A, which is the resin, and then 1 part of the hardener. So you're doing a 2-to-1 mix. It says mix the product for anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Make sure you scrape the sides and the bottom regularly to incorporate that product as well. You don't want to whip a lot of air into it. The good thing about this is this is thin, so the bubbles do tend to dissipate fairly well. I've been reading on these products. They recommend making sure everything is warmed up, because as it warms, the wood expands, forcing out air bubbles, which can cause it to foam or produce bubbles in the surface finish. So if you let everything get hot, and then once it reaches its maximum temperature, then you apply the product. And then as it cools, it actually wants to draw the product in instead of forcing bubbles out. So what we're going to do is now, I've been stirring this for a while. We should be good here on that part. So I'm going to put my stir stick off to the side, and we're going to start administering it. They sent me these little 3/16" nap foam rollers to apply the product, and they seem to be working really well. I've already done one side of all this wood except the piece I'm on here now. This one had a stained face on it, and it has a shellac or varnish type on it, a spar varnish on the face of it, but I'm going to seal the back of it now. Anything that will be stained, of course, will not have this product put on it, at least before it's stained, so it wouldn't take on the stain. The product, you don't need to use a whole lot of it on the first coat. It will go on and spread very well. Basically, I just pour out a little bit. You can put it in a pan if you choose and serve it from a pan, but being down to such large areas, this is just quicker, easier, gets the epoxy down while my work time is here, and I can get it spread out very well and incorporating it in the products. Make sure we get the edges good on all these products. We want to seal these edges. The edges are where the water is going to get in quicker than any place else. So we want to make sure we get a good coat on the edges. The edges should be epoxied at least twice in order to make sure that we're sealing them well. Like I said, this one had a front face on it that is it's stained. This is stained grade plywood, by the way. It is proof finish, good both sides, stained grade, cabinet grade, maple plywood, solid core, just like you'd expect to see in a good marine grade plywood, and it is not cheap. So you want it to take care, do everything you can with it to make it last as long as possible, and to make it as durable as possible so you don't have to keep tending it. I'm kind of lazy to start with, so I don't like repeating myself. as far as doing the work over and over again. I consider that truly a form of insanity. Right now we're just about through this first sheet here.